All right, welcome back to another episode. I'm Mr. Crawlings, your host, and today this is just like a continuation of my previous video, but you guys missed a few steps. So what I did was I actually cut some slits along the bottom here, as long as I can put it in the right spot, and then and I silicone that whole edge here and around the bottom. And if you look down the hole, you can actually see the light coming through. Let me see. On this side, right there, yeah. So you can see if I put my hand on the inside of the tank over here. I mean, obviously you can see through the glass too, but there's those little slits on the bottom right there. I'll have to clean up some of those. I got some silicone on a couple of them, but this is sealed up really good, so just got to let it cure. And that's actually above the line there. That's going to be the top of the water line, so the water's not going to quite get to the top of that, but it's sealed up in front here really nice. And then I did along the bottom too. And then this is going to be for my plumbing. This is going to have a pump dropped into it. It's going to be like 80 gallons per hour and 4 watt, only 4 watt, which is really nice. So it's for this volume of water, actually, it's right under 10 gallons. So it's plenty sufficient for what my client wants. And as far as like he's talked about maybe keeping some guppies in there and stuff like that, so that's plenty efficient. And 80 gallons per hour, I mean, that's turning that water over 8 times, you know, around 8 times per hour. So that's more than sufficient to filter the water and have good circulation. And the red-eyed croc skink should really enjoy it. But I'm going to beef up this silicone here and this foam. You'll see the next couple steps are kind of tedious. I mean, I'm going to be going back and filling in along and around the back here. And then this is going to be supported with another piece of foam in front that's a little shorter. And that's going to allow me to kind of build off of that as well with some of the expanding foam. And depending upon if he kind of wants to do like a slate pattern, I can carve kind of like more of a slate pattern, or if he wants like round rock, or I don't know, more naturalistic. I'm not sure what he's gonna want to go for, but you know, it'll start taking shape here pretty quick. But these next few steps are kind of tedious and kind of messy. I like some of the messy work, but I don't know. You guys give it a like, comment, and sub. And these are the next steps to building your custom vivarium. Is you want to make sure you go ahead and seal it all up really well, especially if you're not doing a drainage layer over here. I mean, you could still do a drainage layer, but then you're not having the flow come all the way through and utilize the entire bottom, which has its pros and cons. But with this much water volume over here, you don't want it over there. You just want a little bit of drainage for your plants and stuff over on this side. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, so the next steps you're going to want to do is get your plumbing all, or get everything ready for your plumbing. And then after I'm done layering this a few more times, like I said, adding another piece of foam and adding more silicone and sealing this up nice and tight, the next step will be filling this with water and making sure it doesn't come out on this side, because if it kind of defeats the purpose if you don't take the steps. You always want to make sure you check your work before continuing on. So I'm going to stop rambling, but yeah, so this is step 1 of the sealing process. And if you got any goobers and stuff like that, Uh, you can clean that up with a razor blade later on, so don't worry about it. It's really messy and wet right now. Just let it dry, and you can clean it up with a razor blade later. And then some of that stuff can actually stay because I'm going to be building up around this. You're not even going to see that tube. You're not going to see any of this stuff. This is just kind of the skeletal structure of Whistling Speed 330's vivarium. This is the bones, or the marrow of the bones, rather. And then, yeah, this, I didn't mention this in the last video, but it's really nice to be able to build out on 1-inch foam already. And you just got to kind of score that, rough it up with some sandpaper and stuff like that. And your expanding foam and stuff like that, it will be able to adhere to it. But we're going to be adding some shelving and stuff like that to create a little bit more floor space. But yeah, you guys will see. I don't know why I'm telling them. Spoiler alert. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. It is getting more and more beautiful outside. The weather is just going to keep going forward and warming up. Spring is in the air, and spring, summer, one of my favorite times of the year. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. If you keep it creative. Later.